I use this one simple funnel to scale my SMMA to $88,000 every single month. I'm not using cold emails. I'm not posting content. I haven't got a team of VAs. I'm not doing cold calling, none of that stuff. I'm not spraying at the wall and hoping something will stick like all these gurus are teaching online. Just do these 10 different things and you'll book a ton of appointments, or follow these mindset videos, or follow this strategy 100 times over and eventually you'll get a book call. No, none of that. The system that I use is so simple, it can get you 10 to 20 new clients every single month. And the reason that I am so confident in that is because I've done it 100 times, if not 200, 300 times over for myself and for my clients. I know it works because I've done it so many times. Now, this funnel is responsible for over $10 million in cash collected alone. The same exact funnel, okay, across over 300 different clients, including my own funnel as well. So I want to show you the full breakdown on how this funnel works. Okay, I'm not going to skip anything. I'm not going to, cut corners here. So heads up, if you are not into, educational videos for business and you don't actually want to scale your agency or coaching program, this isn't for you. And if you're used to, watching TikToks all day and you have the attention span of, something like a goldfish, then again, this isn't going to be for you. So I'm sorry, you're better off going to a different video to get your next hit of dopamine. Okay, well, obviously I've said this before in other videos, and if you are new to this channel, you've never watched me before, your offer is the first thing that you need to focus on. Okay, before anything else, your offer must come first. So what is an offer? How can you actually build a good offer and actually know it's going to work? Well, there's only really two variables you can control. One, the audience in which you're reaching out to with said offer, and then two, the words that you're using to actually market that offer. Okay, so to make a really good offer, you need something that market, that audience is going to feel silly saying no to. It's that simple. I can't explain it any better than that. Okay, you have to give them something which stops the scroll, which stops them from scrolling on Facebook, on social media, daydreaming about how amazing their life could be, to seeing your offer in a place, wherever it's their email, whether it's their social media newsfeed, whether it's on a poster outside their house, I don't really care. But the fact is that individual, that avatar needs to see your offer and have an instant sense of, I need to take action. I need to do whatever this offer is telling me to do. I need to respond. I need to be interested and pique my curiosity around how I can learn more about this offer. So that's all an offer is. It's a tool to generate interest. It's nothing more, it's nothing less. A lot of people get it wrong because they're trying to build something so perfect, such an amazing offer that's going to hit the nail on the head for every single person that's interested, but that is not how you should do it. The best way to build an offer is to make it so amazingly good that everyone is interested, but then you handpick the people that you want to work with. You handpick the qualified leads that are coming through. You're not meant to sell everyone that's interested, right? So you're better off getting everyone in the beginning, get everyone down through the top of the funnel, and then as they fall through, as they become a lead, as they book an appointment, you can then qualify them and predetermine if they actually are a good fit for that offer. And for context, for every 10 leads that we get, or for every 10 appointments that we book, we say no to 8 of them. Okay, so 80% of the people that say, I want your offer, James, I say, no, you don't, it's not for you. Okay, so that is the trick here. You're not meant to sell to everyone. You're meant to build an offer that is perfect for a specific avatar, which you know you can deliver upon with confidence every single time. Okay, so how can you, watching this video, go away and create a good offer? Well, first, you need to be very specific on who you can help, okay? It needs to be the industry. It needs to be how much money they're making. It needs to be what location they're in. It needs to be anything that makes them unique in the call out with actually targeting them, okay? Whether it's location, demographic, it could be anything, right? For example, I have a client that only works with Indian women living in the US, okay? That's a very specific person, and also it works really well. Okay, so it needs to be specific. Your audience has to feel heard when you're calling them out. That's step one. Step two to building an offer is actually giving something they want. It's about focusing on an outcome. Okay, it's not about the features. It's not about the Facebook ad. It's not about the SEO. It's not about what you do. It's about what happens to them as a transformation from going from point A to where they currently are to point B to where they want to go. Okay, so your offer bridges that gap. Okay, so it's an outcome. What happens after you work with them? What happens after they go through your 6-month program? That is what your offer should be centered around. Okay, and of course, there's going to be lots of different variables like how much they spend on ads, how often they call their leads. There's going to be so many things out of your control. But in the beginning, when you're marketing something, you have to assume that they're all the best type of clients possible, that they're going to call their leads, they're going to spend money on ads, they're not going to complain, they're going to put 100% of their effort in. Because if you don't assume that, your offer is never going to be good, right? So you have to assume that everyone is the perfect client on the front end of your marketing. Super, super important. And once you understand that, once you understand what I'm explaining to you, you will finally break out of the chains of running bad offers and getting no responses to having every single person in the market being slightly interested in what you have. And that will then take them to the next step, right? So it's really, really important. Now, that's point one, that's step one, that's pillar one, whatever you want to call it. Now, the next step is the funnel itself, right? We use paid ads. In particular, we use meta ads, okay? And the purpose of running ads is to get your offer in front of as many ideal clients as humanly possible with no manual labor, with working 24/7. None of your energy is required, and it works 365 days of the year. All you're doing is trading your money for impressions, and if you have a good offer, those impressions, those views on social media, on Facebook and Instagram newsfeed, are going to turn into clicks. And that's all we're trying to do, is get as many clicks as possible from the right person as possible into your funnel. And paid advertising is the best way to do that if you don't have a massive following on social media or have a massive email list of old buyers or warm leads, right? You need a new way of turning strangers into clicks and into leads to generate them into clients in the future. So the best and most simple way to do that, bar none, is paid advertising, okay? For sure, you can go and start a YouTube channel, start a TikTok and post 25 times a day for the next 6 months, and you might just get a few clients, but to be honest, it's not predictable. Social media algorithm is constantly changing, and there's so many people that are competing at that level because it's free to start. As soon as you start paying to win with ads, you are now in a small minority of people that are willing to take a risk. Now, if you look at any video game that requires a pay to win element, the ones that spend the most money win the game, right? So for example, I play FIFA a lot, or used to, and the ones that spent the most amount of money on FIFA got the best team, got the best players, and subsequently won more matches and became better at the game because they had more tools in their arsenal, pardon the pun, but they were able to actually be able to win more and gain more because they spent more. And it's the same with ads. It's just a game. You put $1 in and you get $5 back, right? How can you not like that? How can you not want that? So it's really important that ads is the first key pillar to actually running any good funnel, unless you are, some famous person with a ton of social media influence or a massive email list. Forget that if you're not one of those guys or girls. You need to be running paid ads every single time. Okay. Now, the next part of this funnel is the actual page itself. Where are you sending this traffic to? Now, in my experience, I've tried everything from messenger ads to follower ads to VSLs. And honestly, the only one that really works out of those is VSLs, because a VSL actually nurtures and educates people, right? And the more nurtured somebody is, the more they are likely to spend money with you. So it should be pretty plain and simple. The more content that they can consume of you, showing your authority and showing how you can help them solve their problems and get from point A to point B, the more likely they're going to buy from you on the sales call, okay? So it's super important that we push the ads to a VSL funnel, and that VSL is then going to nurture them very, very well, and then the close rate is also going to go up in the process. Now, the best way to make a VSL is to really focus on a few key areas of what the viewer wants to hear, right? First, they want to be called out. So you need to be calling them out straight away. They also want to know why they're there. So tell them straight away the pain that you can solve, the offer which you can provide, and the social proof you have as to why you can offer such a bold claim, right? So put a ton of social proof in that VSL, because you can have these big claims, but if you can't back it up with proof, then it's going to fall on deaf ears. So it's really important that you claim a big thing like the offer you want to promote, but then having proof that you can actually do it more than once is very, very important, okay? So that's just a few key areas of that. You also need to be very specific on how you can help them. So actually what I use is something called the 3 pillars, okay? And it's helped me make millions of dollars using this exact strategy. Now, the 3 pillars are focused around simplifying what you do and explaining to somebody on how you can help them without relying on features or technical explanations, which are going to promote more questions from the viewer. The 3 pillars explains what you do while focusing on the outcome of what you do, okay? So if you think about it like this, if you're selling ads to a local business, it doesn't matter what industry, right? What do they want to know? Well, firstly, they want to know why you're different and how you're going to help them without becoming confused or feeling like they're already doing what you've got. So you need to focus on what is going to change throughout that process in a chronological order. Okay, so pillar 1 is your offer. What we're going to do in the first 24 hours is build you a brand new offer that your audience wants, and it's going to turn complete strangers into high-paying customers that have a really high lifetime value, and it's going to diminish and remove all of the old bad leads that you're currently getting from third-party providers or, basic lead forms that your other agencies are running, right? So most of our clients see a lot of success because we do this, and we do it very, very well. So that's what we'll do straight away. And step 1 is getting you that new offer embedded into your marketing. Okay, so pillar 2 is automation. Right now we've got your offer, we need to automate and push that offer in front of as many people as possible. So what we rely on is AI, where we combine paid advertising with AI appointment setters to turn new leads into highly qualified, ready to buy appointments, completely removing you as a business owner from the equation so you can spend more time doing what you need to do, working on the business, right? Instead of being stuck in marketing and sales. Okay, that means you and your team are only speaking to super high qualified people every single day rather than chasing old, unqualified, wasted leads. Okay, now step 3 is support. We're not just going to give you the system and build it for you in the next 7 to 10 days. We're also going to support you every single day and make sure that you're getting the most qualified leads and making the most amount of money possible. We're going to be your holistical coach that's going to allow you to never worry about marketing sales ever again and never hire a marketing agency ever again, because you'll have the system for life. Even if you never work with us for the rest of your life, you're never going to lose that system, and it's always going to work. Okay, so that's an example of 3 pillars. So you can see I didn't really focus on, hey, we're really good at ads and we're going to then do the API system and ad tracking, and then we're going to do 10 creatives. Like, it's bullshit. They don't want to know that. They don't need that. They just need to know that you can actually do what you say you're going to do, and you can prove it in a very confident and simple way. That's going to spark more interest and more likely that they're then going to go and book a call with you or your team. Okay, so that's it. Now, you may be thinking, like, how to make a good landing page? What makes a really good landing page which people are going to land on and be like, wow, this is the best, most professional VSL I've ever seen? Well, I don't think you need a professional landing page. I just think you need a really good VSL with very simple, literally white background, bold text, black bold text with a nice button beneath the VSL that says book a call, right? That's all you need. And then all you have to do is redirect them from the VSL to your calendar, where you have your qualifying questions on, your revenue, your location, what's worked in the past, what hasn't worked in the past, have you got any marketing spend, whatever you're using to qualify your clients before they speak of you, right? So then they watch the VSL, they then book a call with your team, and then your team can look at the calendar and the form fill and say, right, this person's qualified, we'll speak to him, cool. And then the other person isn't qualified, so we won't speak to him, right? So then the person that isn't qualified, you can send them an email, a text, you can call them saying, sorry, can't help you right now. And then the other person, you can give a call and say, hey, super excited to speak with you. Is there anything you need between now and then so we can make sure that you're good to go when we, start the call on Monday, right? Make sure you're actually reaching out and confirming your calls, and also disqualifying people and canceling those calls, so your team or you are only speaking to super qualified people that are coming through that funnel. It's super important you're not just speaking to everyone and anyone that's opted in, because you can see from the form fill who is going to pay you money based on their revenue, based on what's worked in the past, based on where they're at, and how interested they are, right? And the best way to see their interest level is to see how much attention and time they've invested in answering the questions. If someone's just spammed A, that person's just taking the piss, right? So fuck that guy, remove that guy, call him, tell him fuck off, and then focus on people actually giving you enough time to fill and answer those questions, right? Because you actually want to speak to people that are ready to go. They've watched the VSL, they're excited, they know you can help them, and they want to speak to you as soon as possible. They're the people that are going to give you money, no one else, right? No sales closer is going to have the magic ability to turn someone from an unqualified lead to a qualified lead. That's a myth. If you believe that, it's not possible, okay? You still need to make sure the leads coming through your funnel are actually qualified, are actually able to invest in their company or in themselves. Super, super important. Okay, so now you have a kind of an overview on how the ad to the VSL to the booking and the qualification process works, you can also add in a sprinkle of AIs where you can have an AI appointment setter. We use appointmentwise.io. So what we have is an AI appointment setter inside our CRM that's qualifying all the leads that are coming through the VSL and disqualifying people, booking people on and making sure they're going to show up to the call, and really just doing the job of an appointment setter, but doing it 24/7, 365 days of the year, and really never missing a beat. And instant replies. So you can completely, remove any sort of appointments that you currently have and solely rely on an AI inbound appointment setter that's going to really book more calls and also book more qualified calls, which in turn is going to make you a ton more money. So if you want that, there's a link in the description as well. Okay, if you want to join Appointment Wise, they've got like a 14-day free trial. Definitely check those guys out. Super cool guys. The support is off the charts. Always there to help you. And yeah, made me a ton of money. So what can I say? Closing clients. Now you've got a ton of calls, right? So you've got a ton of calls, brilliant. And they're qualified, they're coming in, you know that you can help them based off the form. How do you actually turn that person into giving you, 10K, whatever your price is, right? Well, it's very, very simple, right? First, you need to focus on the North Star. Why did you book a call, right? And you may be thinking like, oh, I want to make more money. Like, no, fuck you. Why did you actually book a call? What are you trying to achieve? So they might say, I want to make 50K a month. Okay, why do you want to make 50K a month? Why is that important to you? And they're like, oh, I want financial freedom. Like, no, no, you don't. Well, how is your life going to change when you're making 50K a month? Well, I'm going to be able to take my kids on holiday 3 times a year. I'm going to be able to buy my wife a new house. I'm going to be able to give my kids a life that I never had. Those are the answers that you're looking for. It's never just 50K a month. Cool, mate, let's get you there. It's what is the emotional reason that you actually want to make that much money? Because you're not just doing it just because. There's actually a deep-rooted emotional attachment to that monetary amount that you as a salesperson or your sales team need to understand and need to find, okay? So it's really, really, really important that you do that at the beginning of the call. And if you don't get that, the chance of you closing that person is now very, very, very low, okay? Because when it gets to the price and they say it's too much money, not that interested, you're like, well, of course not, because there's no reason for you to even want to make that much money in the first place, right? But if you can get to the end of the call and you're like, I need to do this because I need to make sure my life is better for my wife and my kids, and I'm able to actually do the things that I was never able to do as a kid because I have deep-rooted trauma from my bad experiences and I never want my kids to go through that. Like, that's much more motivational attachment to them to make a decision on that call than just because they want to make 50K a month, right? So I'm not going to go through our whole closing structure because I'll be talking for hours. But if you take one thing away from this, having that process dialed in your sales calls will automatically reduce objections, but also automatically make you more money because you're finding the real reason people are booking a call. And it's not financial freedom, it's not more time, it's not more money. There's something that is attached to all 3 of those things, right? So time, money, freedom, yes, but why? Why do they want more time? Why do they want more freedom? And why do they want more money? If you can't find the why, you're never going to get them to pay you on the call. And if you do, it's because they're going to buy anyway and they're pre-sold and they, don't really care too much and they have disposable cash that they just want to invest anyway. But if you can turn someone from a fence sitter to a maybe to a guaranteed, yes, I'm super excited about your program, you need to understand their why. If you don't understand their why, you're fucked. So good luck. Make sure you really focus on that because honestly, if you don't get that information at the end of the call, there's not going to be anything to go back to, right? You need to figure out why they're there. What is the real reason they're there? If someone can't give you a why, then they shouldn't even really be on the call, right? Disqualify them. If they're like, I don't know, I don't have a why, I'm just here just because I saw your ad, and you can't get it out of them, then you can say, look, obviously this isn't going to be a good fit then, because we're not here just to, we're not a car showroom where you come in and take a look at the cars. Like, you're here because you want to make a change or not. And if you don't want to make a change today, then book a call when you do want to make a change, right? You need to make sure you're only focusing on speaking with people that are serious about making a difference in their lives, a transformational one at that, okay? So it's super important that is a massive part of our sales process. Also we have tons of others. So if you want that, if you want my whole breakdown on how we sell, I can give you some more information. I'll make a video on it and I can, probably break it down for you step by step. But again, I'd be here for hours if I was to do that, okay? Now, after having that process locked in and being able to turn someone from booked call to paying client consistently, when I say consistently, I mean, 30% plus of all the qualified calls that you're booking are becoming clients. You need to get to that point first, and then it's a really good idea to go and hire a sales team. So a team of closers, if not a closer, that's going to come in and take all the sales calls away from you so you can focus on, client fulfillment, onboarding, client results, hiring, managing, firing, being a CEO, as you should be if you're trying to make 100K a month and beyond. But you need to make sure that you remove yourself from sales as soon as you're efficient enough in that process to actually close 30-40% of the calls. Because if you can't do that yourself, how the hell are you going to expect to manage and train someone else to do it for you, right? Ain't going to happen. You're going to just have someone that's slightly worse than you at sales, making you slightly less money than when you were doing it. So you want to make sure you can do it really well, so you can hire, manage, and train someone else or multiple people to be your closer in your business, and then they can actually beat what you're at. So if you can do 30, they should be able to do 50, right? Because their whole job is to take calls, chase no-shows, chase follow-ups, confirm appointments, and just be centered around turning leads into paying clients. And that's all they should be focusing on. Whereas you as a CEO needs to be focusing on fulfillment, sales, marketing, you name it, every single thing under the sun that is required, run a successful business. So it's really important you understand that. Don't just hire a sales closer because James said so or another guru said so, or someone else is doing it. Don't do that. You need to get good at sales first, be able to confidently sell your own shit, and then confidently say, hey, Mr. Closer, this is our process from, lead to close. This is what we do. Follow this process with your super great skills and we'll make a shit ton of money together, right? You need to have that confidence. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to hire a successful closer or closers to scale your business. So if you're sat there like, yeah, but I don't want to take any sales calls, then you don't want to make money, right? If you don't want to do the boring work and actually be in the trenches, you are not meant to make a ton of money. Every single successful person you can look at, you put on a pedestal, whether it's in the online space, whether it's someone like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, whoever they are, they have all done their share of hard work or still are doing their fair share of hard work. So you need to make sure you're capable and able to do the boring stuff that no one else wants to do. Otherwise, other people that are more hungry than you are going to overtake you in this game, okay? Like I was, 5 years ago when my son was born and I had no money to my name. I was like, shit, I got to do something. What did I do? I worked as hard as I possibly could, had zero social life. Luckily, it was during COVID, but I put everything I could into that process and I did everything I could to make sure that I could close, I could market, I could fulfill, and I could scale because of those skills. So it's really, really important if you take anything else apart from the last thing I said away from this is that you're going to do the boring work and you're going to be responsible for your own results and not just pass the blame on to a closer because he said he was good at sales. Because to be honest, anyone that's good at sales is not going to want to work for you if you can't even close yourself. I promise you that. Okay. So that is an overview on what I do and what my clients do and what we help them achieve. And that's really how we've made over $10 million for them and for ourselves in the past 2.5-3 years. Okay. So over 300 people have worked with us on this process. And we, you can probably tell by the way that I'm speaking that I just know this shit. I don't have to look at a script. I don't have to think about it. I just know point A to point B. What do you need? Well, you need a good audience with a good offer. You need a proven way to generate leads, which is always going to be ads unless you've got more followers than you know what to do with. You need a proven process to turn those clicks into booked calls. And that, in my eyes, is a VSL as of right now of this recording. You also need a purely simple way to qualify people as they come through. And then you also need to be able to actually close people based on your own skill set. And then once you're really good, you can hire a closer to come in and actually just take that off your plate as well. Now, I could have gone through like, hey, here's the 10 best ad creatives on how to make money. It's like, fuck that. You only need one creative. You only need one offer, you need one audience, you need one funnel, you need one of everything. You need to make sure it's just super dialed in. Make sure that on the ad, you're getting clicks. Make sure those clicks are turning into leads and appointments, and make sure that those appointments turn into clients. Focus on those things one at a time, and the better you get each step, the more money you're going to make, okay? And just continuously do more of the same until it stops working, and then look at why it's not working anymore. Make small tweaks, and then just keep optimizing, have a feedback loop, and just make sure that you're always focusing on the data. Never, trust your gut per se. Make sure the data is telling you what to do, okay? If you don't follow the data, you're never going to scale. It's purely a numbers game. It's purely a game overall. Have fun with it. Make a shit ton of money. If you want to hire my team to do all of this boring shit for you and make sure you actually close 10 clients a month, absolutely guaranteed, and you only pay us per close, there's a link in the description where you can book a call. We'll run through all the boring stuff. You can either work with us or you don't. Either way, I hope you win, and I'll see you guys on the next one.